Yes, ma'am, start.
Okay. So we have already started with the first lesson, that is Introduction to Linux. We have seen some definitions like what is operating system, how it is acting as an intermediate between the user and the software and the devices, that is hardware. Then we have seen that Linux is an open source operating system. It can be freely downloaded and can be used by anyone. It is much more similar to the other operating systems like Windows, Mac, OS, Android, Unix, iOS, like that. Now, when I compare it with Unix, more or less the commands that are used in both the operating system were same. Then we had seen there are two types of system, single user and multi-user. Single user is divided into single user, single task, single user, multiple task. We have also seen that multi-user is divided into distributed, time slice, and multi-processor system. Then we have seen what are the different types of distributed system, that is client server system and peer-to-peer system. Then we had seen the difference between single user system and multi-user system. Both has its own advantages. Then we had seen what are the characteristics or features of the Linux operating system. What are the three levels of security that the Linux provides us: authentication, authorization, and encryption. And yesterday we had seen that what is the structure of the Linux operating system. It is divided into five different layers. First is the kernel. Kernel is considered to be as a core part and it performs four different functionality. We had seen all those four functionality, that is memory management, process management, device management, and system call. Then we had seen what is system libraries also. Then we had seen what is system tools, development tools, and end user tools. So all of them are required in order to have a proper communication from a user end to the system and from system end to the user end. Then we had seen what is the difference between Unix and Linux. After that, we had seen the file system of Unix. The file system is divided into many types. We have ext, ext2, 3, 4. All of them have the functions that are there in the previous version. Then we had also seen what was XFS, and apart from that, we had also seen what is BTRFS, that is B-tree file system structure. It was generally used keeping in mind the repairing of the system, fault tolerance of the system, and excessive volume of storage. Then we had seen the directories of the file system. That means these are nothing but the folders which are there inside your Linux. Every folder has some function and it is used to store some or the other data. So if it is a bin folder, we store different Linux command. If it is a boot folder, we have boot related information. If it is a device folder, we have information about all the devices which are there in the system or which are externally connected to the system. Then we had seen the etc folder, which has the information related to configuration files of all the installed software. Then we have a home directory, which is specifically for storing the personal information with respect to user. Then we have library folder, where we have libraries of all the installed packages and all the installed software. Then we have a root folder, which is specifically for storing the information of admin. Then we have temporary folders for temporary file. We have user folders for storing the information of the data which is shared on the network. And then we have a variable folder which is used to keep all the system records or system logs. Then we had seen that with the directory structure, we have the numbers and the naming system. Since numbers are not being remembered, so we make use of a naming system. So every directory that is there or every folder which we have in the system has its own numbers. So 0 and 1 is not being used. It is being started from 2. Then we have seen the Linux NIS. What is that NIS? Network Information Service, or it is a system called as Linux NIS server, and it is used for sharing all the information, that is any data over the network. And whatever data we make or whatever data related to the user and group is there, it is stored inside your etc directory. Then we had also seen what is virtual memory. That is a space which is created extra when your RAM or when your main memory or your primary and secondary is filled up in the system. Some configuration files or some system files which are not being used inside the RAM are being swapped out, and the space that is being created inside it is considered to be as a virtual memory. Then we had seen that there are shared libraries. One is static and one is dynamic. The dynamic ones are used right from the program is assigned to the system until it completes the execution, whereas static is used only when it has started its execution and it has reached the compile time. So we are already seeing that what are the different names of the library. So the most commonly used is this one, the JNU version of standard C library, also called as JLIBC. Then we have also seen that what were the advantages of the Linux operating system and how does the architecture of the Linux operating system looks like. So we have hardware at the center, then the next layer comes the kernel, then the next layer is the shell, and then is the application. So we have seen that we have two types of shell. If I use command, we call it as command utilities shell, and if I make use of GUI, I call it as graphical user interface or GUI shell. Okay. So now let us see today what is this cron scheduler. Okay. So what is this cron scheduler? The user can use this scheduler to schedule and run their tasks in the background automatically at a regular intervals of time. So we have seen that Linux operating system is a multi-user system or a multitasking system where multiple tasks are performed, and whenever a multitasking is used, we have foreground processing and background processing. So whichever application you are working is considered to be as foreground, and whatever is running behind is considered to be as background. So now how can I use this processes, or how can I make this processes run in the background? It is with the help of this cron scheduler. And the command used for that is cron tab command. So with the help of this command, I can make my tasks run in the background, or I can schedule them to run in the background. Schedule them means I can tell that 12 o'clock backup should start. So even if I'm working with some another files at 12 o'clock, automatically the backup will be start in my background. So it is used to schedule, as well as you can do it at the same time and make the task run in the background automatically. It is used by whom? It is generally used by the system administrator. Now, why was this cron tab scheduler being used? It was generally for the purpose of only taking only taking backup. So whenever I take a backup, backup is generally taken by the system administrator. If it is a user backup, user will take only with respect to the files which user has created. But if a system administrator takes a backup, that backup will be of entire system. Let it be the user related file, system related file, or the admin related file. So this command or this thing cron scheduler is generally used for backup, and by whom it is used? It is used by system administrator. It is not like that the user cannot use. The user can also use, but system administrator makes the use most, because whenever it wants to take a backup, the backup is little huge. Why? Because it consists all the user files, it consists all the system related files, as well as it consists the admin related file. So if a user wants to take a backup, he does not have to run this cron scheduler. He can normally use the backup command and take the backup. Why? Because the backup taken by the normal user is of less volume. Why? Because it will take only the data which he has created or which he needs. Okay. Shakira, recording is already been started by Pratham. Then what can we do with this help of scheduler? As I said, you can automate the process of backup. You can perform any update in the background. You can start the synchronization of the file. So any task can be done in the background with the help of this command. But specifically, it is preferable to go with backup or to perform the backup. Each user have their own cron tab to create, modify, and delete the task. So every user, whomsoever wants to perform or use this command, it has to first create the cron tab, modify the cron tab, and can delete the cron tab also. So if I want to put any task in a background, I have to first create that task by using this command. Later, if I want, I can modify those commands. If I finished with the work, I can delete that command also. So by default, the cron is enabled to the user. However, we can restrict it by adding the entry into the directory called etc. So by default, for every user, cron tab is always enabled. In case if you want to restrict it for some of the users, so if I am an admin and if I want to restrict it for Pratham, what I have to do is I have to go in this directory /etc/cron/.deny file, and in that I have to add the username as Pratham. So what will happen? Pratham won't be able to use this command. Why? Because I have restricted him by using this. And from where I have restricted it? I have restricted it from the etc directory. Inside that we have a file called as cron.deny file. In that I have added his name. Therefore, he is being restricted by using this particular command. So you can add the users. Who can add this? Only admin. A user cannot add a user. So if I am an admin, I can add. But if a Pratham is a normal user and Shushant is also a normal user, they both cannot restrict their own others' entry. It is only the right to the administrator to give access to which particular user and to deny which particular user. Clear up to here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are the functions that the cron scheduler does. And what is its function? To enable or to schedule certain tasks to make them run in the background by using a command called as crontab. Okay. Now, when I use this command, let us see what is the syntax of the command. The crontab file consists of command per line and have 6 fields separated either by space or tab. So whenever I use the command crontab, that command has how many fields? It has total 6 fields. And how are those fields separated? Either you make use of space bar or you make use of tab key. ठीक है, एक tab दे दो नहीं तो एक space दे दो to separate all the 6 fields. The beginning 5 fields represent time to run the task and the last field is for the command itself. ठीक है, so whichever command you want, that command is in the last, and whatever are the first 5 things, they are to run that particular task in the given time. So what we have seen, that crontab command is used to schedule and run the task. So if I want to schedule a task, I should have the specific timings. So out of those 6 fields, the first 5 fields are telling me that at what time it should happen. And the last field is the command, that which command should be executed in that particular time on background or in background. So the first field is minute. It holds a value between 0 to 59. Second field is hours. It holds a value from 0 to 23. So at what hour and at what minute your scheduling should start or your background processing of that particular command should task is specified in this field. So if you want to give any specific minutes, type over here. What should be the value between 0 to 59? So we have 60 minutes. So from 0 to 59, you can use any number and that number will represent that much amount of minute. Next we have is hours. So we have value of hour from 0 to 23, 24 hours format from 0 to 23. So if I specify 13, that means what? It will start at 1 o'clock. The next field is day of the month. It holds a value between 1 to 31. So we have 31 days, either 30 or 31 days. So in whichever month you want to schedule that, just specify the day of that month between 1 to 31. Then next we specify in which month you want to do that. So we have 12 months. So you can either use the numbers from 1 to 12 or you can specify in first 3 letters as JAN, Jan, FEB, Feb, MAR, March, APR, April, like that till December. So when I say 1, 1, 1, 1, which means what will happen? It will start in which month? January. It will start in which day of the month? 1st Jan. What will be the R1? What will be the R1? It will start at 1 a.m. Correct. It will start at 1 a.m. and at 1 minute. Understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
so you
ma'am.
have to separate all these fields. You have to separate all these fields with one tab or with one space. Okay. Then next is the day of the week. It holds between 0 to 6. Or you can mention Sunday to Saturday. So Sundays, 0 stands for Sunday and 6 stands for Saturday. So if I specify 1 again here, which means what? On Monday, 1st Jan at 1 o'clock at 1 minute, the backup or whatever command I specify, that particular thing will start executing in the background. Okay. You can also use first 3 letter in case of month of the year and day of the week. For rest all, you cannot use any names. You have to use the numbers. And the last field, what you have to specify is the command. So if I want to perform listing in the background, so what I have to give the command over here? ls. If I want to make a directory in the background, what command I have to put over here is mkdir. So it will make a directory. If I want to remove the directory in the background, I have to give the command rmdir. So it will remove the directory. If I want to move from one place to another, I will give the command mv and specify the directory names, whichever I want to move. So what it will do, it will move the folders or the files in the background. Clear? Understood what are the 6 fields of this command? So the first 5 fields are used for scheduling the work, and the last is a command. So whatever command you write over here, that command will be performed at this specific time period with that particular date and when in the background. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now if I want to list the cron tab entries, so what I have to do is, which is the command to list the cron tab entries. See, L and ls commands are always used for listing. So whenever I want to list something, or if I want to list a cron tab entry, what is the command? It will list or manage the task with a cron tab command and with the option -L. For whom? Only for current user. Okay. So if I am attached, sorry, not attached, if I am logged into the system and if I want to list my cron tab entry, so what command I have to do is cron tab -L. So output what I get is over here is 6 fields, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the command 6. Okay, which is the first word used, first field used for
minutes.
first is a minute, second is
Hour.
hour, next is first is minute, second is hour, day of the month, month of the year, and day of the week. So this is the timing, and what it has listed, it has listed that all the listings are being there in which file? In the file ls.txt. But these are what? These are with respect to the current user. Okay. If I want to create a cron tab entry, before we edit, if I want to create a cron tab entry or create a cron tab file, the command used for creating is cron tab -A and the file name. So what will this do? This command will create a cron tab file for that particular user who has logged in inside the system. So if I have logged in inside the system and if I want to make my own file, what will I do? Cron tab -A and write Niti. So when I do this, it will create my file. And if I want to find the entry of this file, where will I find the entry? I will find my entry by using this -L command. So once you create the file, the entries of those files are there in this -L command. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is if I want to edit the cron tab entry. Now what I have done, did I create my own file of cron tab? Yes. What is that file name? Niti is the file name. Now if I have written certain commands into this, what are those commands? Say suppose I write mkdir is a command and rmdir is a command. Now if I want to edit and add 2 more commands, so how am I supposed to edit? I'm supposed to edit this particular file by using the command -E. So what is -E used for? The -E command, the -E command is used to edit the cron tab file which you have already been created. Okay, so what you do is you make use of an editor called as VI editor. We will see this when we come to the practical part. If I want to make any file, and if I want to run that file inside the command shell itself or inside the command prompt itself, I make use of VI editor. So it is normal like your notepad. Windows में कैसा notepad है वैसा you have a VI editor in the Linux or for Ubuntu. It is there for Unix also. So when I open this VI editor, I create a file, I write some text into it, and I save it. Once again, if I want to edit it, I again open it. So all of whatever I do in the VI editor, same thing is followed in the cron tab also. When I create this file, cron tab -A file name, so it is nothing but creating a file in a VI editor itself. And in that VI editor, what am I doing is I'm writing these commands. Which commands? The one which I've shared you in the chat. mkdir is a command, rmdir is a command. So again, if I want to edit this, what I will do is I will edit it by using -E. So again, this -E command is of VI editor itself, which is allowing you to edit that VI editor file. It will allow you to add the commands like ls, then it will allow you to give the command like lpr, that is printing. So you can add the commands. Once you add it, you have to save them. So how do you save them? You save them by using a command called as wq. So :wq will allow you to save and quit from the file. So W is used for saving and Q is used to quit. दैट मीन्स आपने ऑलरेडी VI एडिटर ओपन कर चुके हो नीति नाम का, उसमें 2 कमांड्स ऑलरेडी है, आपको और 2 कमांड्स ऐड करने हैं. तो आपने कैसे ऐड किया? एडिट करके, -e यूज करके एडिट करके आपने फाइल को ओपन किया. ओपन करके you added 2 more commands, which are those ls and lpr. Now you want to save this and then you want to schedule it through crontab scheduler, correct? So to save the new entry that you have made, you have to use :w for saving, and to close that VI editor, you have to use :wq. So q is quit, means it will close, and w will save. तो अगर आपको quit नहीं करना है तो you have to use only :w. But if you want to save and close the file, you have to use WQ. After that, what you will do? After that, you can simply write over here the timings, and then you can specify what is the file name and add cron tab before it. So what it will do, it will schedule this particular file and it will execute all the commands that you have written, like mkdir, rmdir, ls, lpr at this particular time. Understanding?
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Okay. So this is how you first create the file. You write the commands into it. After that, you specify it into, put it into a cron tab command. If you want to edit, you use this particular field for editing, or this particular option for editing. Now, when I am talking about that VI editor, it operates in 2 modes. One is the 3 modes: input mode, command mode, and insert mode. Input means what? You are entering into the file. Insert means what? You are typing it into the file. And command is what? You have finished the typing and you will give the commands now. Okay. So ये जो WQ है, that is what? It is a command. So I have come out from the insert mode. Insert कर दिया मैंने ls और lpr. I have come out from the insert mode and I have entered into the command mode, given the command for saving and quitting, and then given it to the cron tab command for doing that work in the background. Okay. Clear up till here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have created a cron tab. We have edited the cron tab. Now if I want to remove that cron tab entry, so what is the command? We use a parameter or an option called as -r. So a cron tab with -r parameter will allow you to remove the complete scheduled jobs without any confirmation. Okay. Now see, if I'm typing in a Word file, what do I keep on doing always? Control S, Control S. After I type 3 lines, I'll do Control S. After I again type 2 lines, I do Control S. That means I'm continuously saving. If I do not save, that means Control S nahi kiya. And if I directly close the Word file, do I get any type of pop-up window?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that pop-up window asking you for?
Do you want to save it?
Do you want to modify?
It will ask you that do you want to save? Yes, no, cancel. If you yes, it will allow you to save you. If you say no, that means जो लिखा है वो भी सारा चला जाएगा. That means what? It is telling you, asking you for your confirmation before you are closing it. Does this same thing happen if it is Excel, PPT or any other application?
Yes.
Yes. So same thing, if you want, you can do it in your cron tab also. If I make use of an option called as -i with this cron tab, it will ask you to remove that entry and it will take your confirmation before removing. How is the confirmation taken? See, really delete the roots cron tab ? If you press Y, it will remove. If you say press N, it will not remove. But if you do not want any confirmation and if you have made up in your mind that मुझे delete ही करना है, I don't want any confirmation, you can directly use -r. So when you use -r without confirmation, it will delete that command and that command will not run in the background henceforth. But if you want to take a confirmation from a user and then if you want to remove it from the background, you have to use -i. Okay. So both of them can be used. Both of them will do the same function. Only the difference is there. One will take the confirmation from the user. One will not take the confirmation from the user. Clear?
Yes.
Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, whenever you are using this particular cron tab command, we have seen that there are 6 fields. One is talking about a day, one is talking about month, one is talking about week, one is talking about hours. So we call all of them as system-wide cron schedule. So the system scheduler can use predefined cron directory which are shown below. Okay, this who can use, this users cannot use, only this can be used by the administrator. So if an administrator wants to run certain cron commands daily or hourly or weekly, it can directly make use of this directory and these files. What are those? /etc/cron.d. That means on which particular day it wants. If it wants to be perform certain scheduling of task daily, it will use cron.daily. If it wants to be perform some task on hourly basis, it will use cron.hourly. If it wants to be performed on monthly basis, it will use cron.monthly. And if it wants to perform on weekly basis, it will use cron.weekly. So every file with respect to every day, date, hour, month and week is being entered into the etc directory if at all it is used by the administrator. So if administrator performs any cron tab scheduling, all the entries of the administrator with respect to hours, day, month, whatever it is being found in this etc directory. But if it is a user will not have any entry into etc directory. Only system administrator has the entry into directory. Understanding? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us see how to schedule a job at a specific time. So the below command will delete the empty files and the directory from the TMP folder at 12:30 a.m. daily. So if a question is asked that write a cron tab command to delete the empty files and directories, from which directory or from which folder, from the temp folder, at what time? At 12:30 a.m. daily. So how is the command? How will you write the command? You have already created a cron tab file and now you're going to edit that cron tab file. So you will first write cron tab -e, mention the time. What is the time mentioned? It is 12:30 a.m. Okay, 12:30 a.m. means first is for minutes. So what is a minute? 30 minutes. Then is for hours. Hours is 0. Do I have anything further written? No. So for them, everything will be asterisk. Now who is doing this? It is written that this is done by the root user. So you mention that it is done by the root user. What it has to delete? It has to first find the temporary folder, and then what it has to do? It has to empty and delete everything which is there from this temporary folder. Understanding?
Yes.
So what is being done? Cron tab -a niti is already being created. I am editing that and then I am writing this command. So when I run this command, what will happen? It will automatically at 12:30 daily, it will keep on deleting all the files, or it will keep on emptying all the files from the temp directory. Okay. And after I write this command inside my cron tab, what I have to do is I have to save it with the command :wq. Clear?
Yes.
Now we also have certain string commands for performing the scheduling. What are those string commands? When I say @reboot, what it will do? It will automatically run the command system reboot. Okay, so when I write over here cron tab -e @reboot, so what will happen? It will automatically take the reboot of the system. So these are certain string commands. You can directly mention them and it will perform that respective task. If I say @daily, what will happen? It will always perform that thing daily. That is, it will always perform once in the day, but at what time? Generally at midnight. Okay, so if I don't want to specify this time, okay, हर रोज अगर मुझे वही काम करना है रात को 12 बजे, तो I don't have to specify this time. I can simply write @daily. So what it will do? Every day रात को 12 बजे it will keep on taking the backup, or it will keep on deleting the files from the temporary directory. And if I say @weekly, what it will do? It will do something once in a week, any day. Okay, then you have to check when it was done. Understanding? If I write cron tab -e, this command, and say @weekly, what will happen? Once in a week, any time, this file, all the files from this folder temp will be deleted. So you have to keep on checking whether aaj hua hai kya nahi, so it might happen tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it might happen on Thursday, like that. Same if I want to happen once in a yearly, what I have to do is I have to directly use a string command @yearly. So any 1 month in a year or any time in a year, it will perform that particular task in the background. Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you want to combine two commands, अभी जैसे what I have written, I am doing mkdir, rmdir, ls and lpr. I am doing more than one commands. So instead of writing it in a separate line in a VI editor, I can directly mention in the command also. How? @daily command 1 and command 2. So what will happen? Daily at midnight, mkdir as well as rmdir can be performed. So I do not have to mention it separately. I can write it in one command itself, that @daily command 1 and command 2. So instead of writing @daily mkdir, again in the next line @daily rmdir, again in the next line @daily ls. So instead of writing so many lines, I can combine those multiple commands by using this ampersand sign. So mention either sorry.
Ma'am, but this will only run if the command 2 will only run if the command 1 succeeds. Because L operator
that is there. Yeah, that is there. That will be there. So if first one succeeds, second one will be executed. So therefore, we have both the options. Either you combine them or you mention them separately. But you have such kind of provision to do it. So such small commands, when I'm talking about small command, mkdir, rmdir, these are all small commands. So ये तो execute होंगे. But you cannot do this thing when you are taking a backup. अभी आप टेम्पररी फोल्डर का बैकअप और ईटीसी फोल्डर का बैकअप एक साथ नहीं ले पाओगे, बिकॉज यू नेवर नो ना कि टेम्पररी का करेक्ट बैकअप होगा कि नहीं. So this command, this ampersand can be used if it is very small commands and you know कि उसका output आने ही वाला है. But this cannot be preferred when you're taking backup or when you're taking recovery. At that time you cannot use this. Here, up till here? Yes?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what is cron scheduler. You can use to schedule the jobs and make them run in your background at a specific time. And what does the command says? That it has 6 fields. You specify whichever field you want, but mentioning the command is very important. Okay? Here, up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Let us go to the last topic, 1.4. So now, in 1 point, sorry. In 1.4, we have certain commands, that is info page, man page, and so on. Let us see what does these commands make, or what does this command tell us to do. So we have first command called as man page. Now what does that man page stands for? It is nothing but the manual page. It is also a documentation manual. Now whenever you take something or you buy any device, you get some pamphlet with that device, that how it has to be set up. If I've taken a TV, I'll get some manual with the TV, that how you have to set up, which wire is to be connected where, then how you have to use the remote. So anything, whenever you buy anything, you get a manual of it. So if you don't know anything, what do? Is you refer to that manual. Similarly, if it is some software, with the software you will not get the manual. You get a help tab or you get a help command. You go into the help if you do not know what is the command for, or you go and search in the help tab. Do you do this? Yes or no? Have you seen at least?
Yes, ma'am.
Let it be any software help रहेगा. So you go into that help and you search for that particular commands. So similarly in Linux also, there is a manual or there is a documentation, and that documentation can be seen with a command called as man page command. Okay. So to check the manual entry for any command, we have to make use of man command name. ठीक है. अगर मुझे ls खाली पता है क्या है, but वो क्या काम करता है, कैसे output आएगा, I do not know anything. So what I will type is man space ls, and when I press enter, it will give me all the information with respect to ls. That ls stands for listing, what is the example, what is the syntax, what kind of listing you will get. So all this detail with respect to every command is found inside this manual documentation, which is called as man page documentation. And how do you use it? You know the command, wo command ke aage simply put man, it will give you the information of that particular command. So we say that every manual entry of that command is found inside the man page. Is this clear? What is man page?
Yes.
So if I want to find the information of chmod, what I'll do, I'll say man chmod. When I say enter, it will give me all the information of chmod. What numbers are used, what is chmod, how you can change from one user mode to another user mode. All the details will be given. Okay. So let us see this example. I do not know what is printf. So what I have written, can you see?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you have to do is simply type man printf, and when I press enter, it will give me all this information. That what is the name of the command? The name of the command is printf. What is the function of it? It will format and print a particular data. And what are the synopsis? That means in what way you can write that, print, format, arguments, printf with some options. So this is how you can write the command. What is the description of the command? Entire description is mentioned over here. So this is by writing one command, the manual page of this command will give you all the information with respect to that particular command. Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes.
So similarly, if I write man LPR, so I do not know what is LPR. I just know कि वो printing के लिए use होता है, but उसके क्या क्या options है? What if I write LPR hyphen A, तो वो क्या करेगा? If I write LPR hyphen Q, तो वो क्या करेगा? All this information will be found in this man page. So you simply have to write the command and put man in front of it. Whatever the manual documentation is, whatever help is there, all the help will be provided to you in this description. Understanding? Yes or no?
Yes.
So your manual page is split into 8 sections. What are those sections? Let us see. First is the user commands. So let a user type any command. All those commands which are written in the command prompt, it will give you the information of all those commands. So those commands that are executed by the user from within the shell. Within the shell means command prompt पे जो भी command user लिखेगा, that information is also found inside the man page. Apart from that, you will also have information of system calls. So those functions which wrap the operation performed by the kernel. Do you know what a system call? Yes or no? If I want to talk to the operating system, I use kernel. But which part of the kernel? It is the system calls. So do I have system calls with respect to different operations? Process के system calls है, files के system calls है. Yes or no? Are you all there?
Yes.
So where you will find, if I want to find the information of those system calls, my manual page will also give me the information with respect to system calls. So it is not only the user commands, along with user commands, I also get information about the system calls. Apart from that, what information a man page will give me? It will give me all the information about the library functions also. What do I call them as? Library calls. So all the library functions excluding the system calls, that means system calls जो अलग है वो system call separate बताए जाएंगे, but उसके अलावा जो separate library calls है, all those library calls will also be found inside this man page. So if I want to find the library calls related to our most commonly used library, glibc, so all those library calls with respect to that libraries will also be found inside the man page. Then next we have information with respect to devices. So if there are any commands with respect to device, for example, अगर मैंने pen drive insert किया है, so and if I want to use that pen drive, and if I have written a command that /mnt/ the name of the pen drive, okay, Niti suppose. So what it is going to do is it is mounting the device Niti. So where will I find the information with respect to this mount command? I will find it inside this special files called as device. So /mnt is what? It is mounting. That means it is allowing that device to use the system. Okay, many a times what is happening nowadays, you put the pen drive in the USB and it automatically shows in the right hand corner that you are ready to use the device. Yes or no? When you remove it, you right click and you say save to remove. When you click on it, it shows you a message that yes, you can remove your device safely. Do you come across this type of messages on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So those messages, why they are getting shown to you? Because you are using the GUI part. But if I want to do command prompt, as soon as I attach, I write a command mount Niti. If I want to remove it, I will say unmount Niti. So whenever I do this, all the entries of this devices or all the information of this device commands are found inside this special files of the man page. So how you are supposed to mount and unmount, we have one practical on it. So you'll come to know that which are commands that are used for mounting and unmounting any devices. So wo /mnt command ka entry is where it is there inside this special files. Though it is used by user, but it is what? Related to device. Therefore, it will not be in the user commands, but it will be in the special file section. Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, you have file formats and configuration files. So it describes various human readable file formats and configuration files. So all the commands that you execute with respect to your files or with respect to system files or .config files, where will be the commands of all those found? It will be found inside the section file formats and configuration file. Last is the games. The games and funny little programs are available on the system. Do you know that there are some games already available in the system?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Only one which I know is the cards in the Windows. So what is happening? All those commands which can be used for playing those games, all the entries of those commands are found inside the game section. Okay. It is not the games that you will install. It is the predefined games which are there inside the system. Okay. Last is overview, conventions and miscellaneous. So whatever is being missed out over here, all those commands are clubbed together and they will be found in this particular section. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now, you can use this man information or this man command with certain options. Now, let us see what are those options. When I use -f option, that means with any command, when I use -f, I will get some another kind of information. Now, what I was doing when I was using only man with printf, I got this big information. It may happen that I may read, I do not have time to read also. So what I will do is I have certain options which will reduce the information given to the user or which may increase also. So let us see what each of the option is used for. When I say -f, what it will do is it will display the short description of printf. So whatever command you have written here, अगर उसका short description चाहिए आपको, so you will make use of -f. तो अगर मुझे mkdir का short पे information चाहिए कि वो सिर्फ क्या करता है उतना ही, so what I will make use of? I will make use of man-f mkdir. So when I used man-f printf, what output did I get? Printf is used for format and print data. Okay, only this much output it will get. Whereas if I don't use -f, what it is giving me? It is giving me what is the use, how it is to be written, what is the description. I am getting all the details. So if you want a detail in short, make use of an option called as -f. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So -f can be used with any command. It is not necessary कि वो printf के साथ ही use होगा. You can use with all the commands which are there in the Linux. So for all those commands, it will give you a short description. ठीक है? Next is -k. What is -k going to do? -k option. It will search the short description and the keywords related to which it matches. That means description तो देगा, short description भी देगा, उसके साथ आपने जो भी लिखा है, जो भी कुछ मैच होता है, everything will be displayed. So when I say man-k printf, so what it will give? Printf जो भी मैच हो रहा है 1 1p 3 3p1 it whatever matches with this particular command, all the details will be given, but the details will be in short. Okay, like if I say printf, it is used for formatting the data. If I say printf 1p, it will write the formatted output. If I use printf with 3p, it will print the formatted output like this. So printf is matched with these many commands. So what it has done, it has given the description of all the commands but in short. Okay, so if I say man hyphen k mkdir, तो अगर mkdir के साथ जो भी commands match होते हैं सबका description मिलेगा, but the description will be in short. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Minus hyphen f is doing what? Only short description with that command. Hyphen k is matching the name with all the commands and giving the short description along with that. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is hyphen w. What will hyphen w do? It will print the location of that particular file wherever it is there inside the system. So when I say man hyphen w print f, what it will do, this hyphen w will print the location कि वो file आपके system में किधर है. So where is that file? It is there inside the user directory. Inside there is one more folder called as share. Inside there is one more folder called as man, and inside that you have an entry of this file. So if I want to know the location of a command, any command, what option I have to use? I have to use an option hyphen w. So hyphen w will tell me where is the location of that particular command inside my system. So if I want to know the location of lpr command, what will I write? Man hyphen w lpr. तो वो command जिधर भी है, it will give me the location of that command. Understanding?
Yes.
If I say man hyphen w mnt, so where is that mnt with respect to mounting of device? So what output it will give me? It will give me that output that it is in /dev directory. Okay, so directories will also change as soon as you change the commands. Everything cannot be at one location. Since we have 8 different sections, so we'll have different locations for all the different commands. Understanding? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Next we have capital K option. So what is hyphen capital K? The previous K which we saw was small. वो क्या कर रहा था? Matching words along with short description. What will capital K do? Capital K will search the text in all manual pages. मतलब आपके पास जितने भी मैनुअल पेजेस है पूरे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में, इट विल सर्च द डेटा इन ऑल दैट पर्टिकुलर एंटायर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. सो व्हेन आई से man hyphen k capital K printf, it will search for the text in all manual pages. That means printf क्या करेगा? Printf will be searched in all the 8 sections. अगर यूजर के कमांड्स में printf है तो वो भी डिस्प्ले करेगा. सिस्टम कॉल्स में कुछ printf है तो वो भी डिस्प्ले करेगा. लाइब्रेरी कॉल्स में कुछ printf है तो वो भी डिस्प्ले करेगा. So it is going to search in all the 8 sections. Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what is your man page. So if you want any manual documentation of any of the command, you are supposed to use the man command. Clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the info page. Now what is info page? It is the detailed version of your man page. तो man तो छोटा था, उससे भी अगर ज्यादा डिटेल चाहिए, so you will find it in the info page. So info pages are the more detailed version of your man pages. They are so in detail that you have multiple pages of it. How you have to go through the pages? You have to go through the pages like previous, next and quit. तो next page पे जाना है तो you have to click on next. Previous page पे जाना है तो you have to click on previous. That means that much big information is there in the information page. So every entry of a man page is there inside the information page also. Man page will be something short like this which we have seen, but information page will be into pages. मतलब एक ही command का information आपको बहुत सारे pages में मिलेगा. Okay? Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
We also have options for info page, like how we have option for man page, -w, -k, -small k, -f. So we have similar options for the info page also. So -a is used for what? it is used to match the manual and display them for a particular command. So when I use a command CVS, and if I put -a in front of CVS, what it will do, it will match the entire manual, and whatever is found as CVS, it will display from all the pages of those manuals. So when I say, see, when I write info -a CVS, what I get over here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is showing entry of CVS in user directory. It is showing entry of CVS in the man page also. और भी कुछ है तो और भी कुछ दिखाते जाएगा. So it is like this. So it will be in the form of pages. Okay. Are you understanding? So if you have also created a file like with a name called as CVS, so it will show that entry also over here. And if that is there in your home directory, it will show that 3/home/CVS like that. Understanding?
Yes,
So for
ma'am.
one command, if you want to display whatever is the matching of it, you have to use -a. So the work of -k, small k, is done by -a in information page. Understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, -w. -w is used for what in man page? Man page में -w क्या था? It was telling the location, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if I use -w with info, it is going to give me the location of the file. So when I say info -w CVS, it will tell me where that CVS file is located inside the system. Okay. If I want to check the manual page of info command, मतलब manual page means what? Man command. तो अगर info command का manual page find out करना है, so you have to use a command man info. So which means what? Info का entry in short will be there in which page? The manual documentation. And in info page, manual का detailed information will also be there. Are you understanding? In both the cases,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
दोनों का एंट्री दोनों जगह है. मैन में ढूंढोगे तो शॉर्ट में मिलेगा, इन्फो में ढूंढोगे तो एक लॉन्ग में मिलेगा. लॉन्ग मीन्स मोर डिटेल्ड इंफॉर्मेशन विल बी गिवन. You can also use a help command if you want to go to the help page. So how you are going to use that? Info -l help. So what will this open? It will open the help page again, where you will find all the information inside the commands which are used by the Linux. Okay. So you have two options. You can use man also, you can use info also. Both of them have same entries, but only the type of entry made is different. One will have short information with different options. One will have long information with different options. Are you getting? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can anyone tell me what is command line?
The shell
Command
where we can enter a command.
The place where we write the commands and the work is done with the command is called as command line. Do you know command prompt of Windows?
Yes.
है ना, आप Windows R आपके कीबोर्ड से Windows R दबाते हो, you write CMD and the command prompt opens for you. You use it for checking your IP address. ठीक है, IF config लिखोगे, IP config लिखोगे तो आपको आपका IP address आता है. So what you are doing, you are finding your IP address with the command by writing the command in the command prompt or in the command line. So similarly, in Ubuntu also we have a command line and we call it as a terminal. Okay. So what is that terminal or what is that command line? It is a place where the user will write the commands, and whatever commands the user is going to write, the system will perform that particular task. Okay. So we call it as terminal or shell. So the window that opens or the command prompt that opens is called as terminal, and we have different types of shells. ठीक है, root user के लिए we have different logo, normal user के लिए we have different logo. So if it is, see, this is what is the command, this is how the terminal will look like. Okay, when you open command prompt of Linux or of Ubuntu, this is the terminal or this is the command prompt of your Ubuntu. We don't call it as command prompt, we call it as terminal. Okay, there are two different types of shell. Okay, one will be the $sign for normal user and one is the hash sign for your root user. So अगर आप रूट हो यूजर के सिस्टम के एंड इफ यू लॉग इन एज अ रूट तो आपको टर्मिनल पे कौन सा साइन दिखेगा, हैश. बट इफ यू आर नॉर्मल यूजर you will get which type of sign? You will get a dollar. Whatever you write over here are the commands. Okay, so what is this SU? SU is one type of command. What I can write over here is I can write man-f printf and press enter. So it will give me the information about the printf statement. So these are the place where you write the command, and this is the actual shell. Okay, this is shell for the normal user, this is a shell for the root user, and this is the terminal or the command line or a command prompt, the place where the user writes the command for performing the operation. Are you understanding this? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is a terminal or a shell? Within the terminal you have a shell. So we saw that we have a terminal first, and within the terminal you have these shells. This part of the operating system defines how the terminal will behave and look after executing the commands for you. So there is a place where you write the commands, and it will show you the result after that commands are executed. So there are various shells available, but the most common one is the bash shell, and you call it, or it stands for born again shell. So the shell which Linux use is the born again shell. Okay. If you would like to know which shell you are using, you can use a command called as echo. ठीक है. So आपका ये जो terminal open होता है, उसके बाद instead of su, if you type echo and press enter, it will tell you which is the name of the shell that is used by your terminal. ठीक है. आपको अगर आपका terminal का shell जानना है, so the command name is used as echo. अगर born again shell है, तो when you type echo and when you press enter, it will show you born again shell. Okay. So by this you can come to know that which is the shell that is being used. If I don't want to use this command line, what is the other options that we use to talk to the computer? It is
GUI.
GUI.
So it is a graphical user interface where we make use of icons, menus, pop-ups, windows and all to communicate with the system. निश्चित आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
मैम खाली एको ओनली एको वोंट वर्क ना सिर्फ शेल लिखने के लिए, क्योंकि मैंने ट्राई किया तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा सिर्फ एको लिखने पे.
होता होगा ना एको टू डिस्प्ले द स्टार्टिंग.
एको $0 लिखा तो आ रहा है, सिर्फ एको लिखने पे कुछ नहीं आ रहा है.
आपका कौन सा वर्जन है उबंटू का?
लेटेस्ट.
नहीं मतलब how you are running it? You are running it on the virtual box or you are running it online?
In a virtual machine.
Oracle virtual box है?
VMware है.
हाँ Oracle VMware.
मैम Oracle का नहीं है VMware. VMware अलग है.
मुझे लोगो दिखाओ.
VMware workstation.
हाँ
VMware
show me the logo of it.
मैम just a minute.
हाँ आप स्क्रीनशॉट भी भेज सकते हो if you want. Because the one which I am using is Oracle VM VirtualBox. I do not know about you all. एक मिनट, let me ping you so that I can see. This, no, I am not using this. I will show you mine. Wait now. Stop presenting. I will also stop presenting.
मतलब Ubuntu तो सेम ही रहेगा ना.
I do not know ना अभी कौन सा distribution आपने किया है, because I think I have done it last year for last year Linux practical and I don't remember. See, this is the one which I am using. Can you see my screen and the cursor?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, so mine is for Oracle VM VirtualBox. अभी इसके अंदर I do not know what is the distribution which I have installed. I had done it last year, so I think उधर Echo काम कर रहा था. Only Echo was working. So I am telling you कि आप थोड़ा टाइम रुक जाओ. I will give you the video of this same Oracle VMware, so it will remain common with respect to every one of us. नहीं तो ये कमांड के जगह पे गड़बड़ होगी. एक का रन होगा, एक का नहीं होगा. I think Echo should work. I'll still try and I'll tell you tomorrow. It should work. Last time तो work हुआ था. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the applications of GUI operating system? कौन से GUI based operating systems है? Can I say Windows, Linux, Chrome OS? Every operating system which are there today are GUI based? Can I say? Are you
Yes, ma'am.
connected? हाँ.
Yes, ma'am.
So let it be Android, let it be Mac, iOS, Ubuntu, Linux, Unix, कोई भी operating system बोलो, all the operating systems are nowadays a GUI based operating system. Okay. Now we have different interface of GUI. So if I have a Linux distribution, I can use Genome interface, I can use KDE interface also. Okay, let it be any of the interface. I can install all the applications whichever I want. Okay, so these two are just the different GUI interface of the Linux. You can use anyone, you can install anyone, whichever you install, it will support all the applications. Okay. Now what is root? What is a root account?
The administrator.
Yes, the administrator in your Linux or Unix is considered to be as a root. So if I am a root of a system, do I have all the rights and all the access and all the permissions of the system?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I change the permissions and change the access of any user whomsoever I want?
Yes.
Yes. So if you are an admin of a system, you can do whatever you want with respect to the system, giving permissions, taking back the permissions. All these things can be done only if you are the admin. And who is the admin of your Linux? The admin of your Linux system is a root, called as root. Okay. So how do you log in as a root? You should have a ID and a password created. So if you have that ID and password, then only you can log in into the system as a administrator. But if you are a normal user, and if I, being an administrator, give you some rights, so you can also switch from the normal user, come to the admin user and perform that particular operation. So how do I do this? I do this by using a command called as su. So when I say su means what? I am switching the user from normal to the root user, allowing him to do certain operations, and I know what operations that user is doing. But when that user can do those operations only when I give the ID and a password. So if I make Nishit as a admin user, I have to give him my login credentials, and once I give him, then only he can perform this switch user and do the task which is being assigned by using that ID and password. Okay. So whatever command is written over here, initially that person is normal user. As soon as you write su, it will immediately ask you for the password. तो अगर आपका ये password correct है, तो ही आप admin बन सकते हो. अगर ये password गलत है, तो you cannot have any of the admin rights. Are you getting?
Yes.
So even if you are a normal user, you can switch to root account, provided if you have a root password. So if you don't have this password, you cannot switch to this root account. So normal user has a $shell and a root user has a hash shell. So this is how also you can differentiate between the user by looking at the shell inside the terminal. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Shell from C. The shell prompt ends with a $sign. For simplicity, the example, that means it looks like this. हाँ.
मैम स्नेहल मैम का लिंक आ गया है.
अच्छा 11:34 हो गया. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, just let me complete this one small topic and then we can end. So see, you have a prompt like dollar for normal user. Initially, in older days, it was %sign. If it is a C shell, sometimes you will get this type of a shell. If it is a root, you will get this type of a shell. So as I said, if you want to know which shell it is, you have to type that echo command and you will get to know that in which shell you are. Whether it is a dollar shell, a percentage shell, C shell or a root shell. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if it is a bond shell, you have a $sign. If it is C shell, you have this angular sign. So this is bond shell, this is root shell, this is C shell. Okay? Now this is, we have already completed directory structure. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we are left with types of files, difference in Windows and Linux, and one small topic, virtual console. Okay, we'll finish this tomorrow. Tomorrow nahi, kabhi hai lecture Monday. Okay? Let me take your attendance and then you can leave. Yesterday's attendance I have given in the classroom. Today's attendance also I'll give in the classroom. Fine? I hope you all are checking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Later, do not come and tell me I was present, you didn't mark me present, because this is what is taken automatically from the extension. Okay? You all can leave, attendance is taken, I'll put it in the classroom.
Ma'am,
हाँ.
ma'am, who is the faculty of project?
प्रोजेक्ट को आपको अलग अलग गाइड मिलेंगे सबको, जो भी टीचर्स है डिपार्टमेंट के, सब टीचर्स को 3-3, 4-4 ग्रुप मिलेंगे बेस्ड ऑन योर टॉपिक्स.
Yes.
ठीक है, उसका नोटिस हम लोग डालेंगे वंस वी गो टू द कॉलेज टुमारो. वी विल डिस्कस विद सर एंड विल पुट. टिल देन आपका सर पाइथन लेते हैं ना?
हाँ मैम.
हाँ, तो सर को एक बार याद दिलाना सर प्रोजेक्ट का क्या करना है.
हाँ मैम. और मैम
ठीक है?
अपडेटेड टाइम टेबल आज से होगा कि कल से होगा?
अपडेटेड टाइम टेबल डेट डाल. आप कभी आया अपडेटेड, किस आपको मिला?
20th मैम, 20th से फॉलो होगा. मैम ने मैसेज किया मुझे.
अच्छा ठीक है, सो मैं आया होगा, आई हैव नॉट सीन.
ओके मैम.
28 से होगा. ठीक है, यू ऑल कैन लीव.
थैंक यू मैम.